Hi everybody, this is Lynn from Creative Concept Crafts with this week's release and a really unusual exploding box. This one is the one that we're going to do today is Santa, the reindeer and a chimney, but there's also another file within this that doesn't have the hole, doesn't have the chimney, but I've done a couple of exploding boxes at the beginning. I've shown in the photographs of ones that I've done for a 21st and another one for a Christmas one, which is totally different to this one. So I've cut out all the mats and layers. I've done quite a bit of matting and layering because I'm sure you all know how to do it. Whichever one you use, there's 3 layers here. You can use 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers. Whichever layer you do, you'll need the central paneling. And if you look at layer 1 and 2 here, the base layer and layer 1, there's no central panel, and that's because it's going to be glued and you won't see it. So I've just got the matte layer on the very top layer. Okay, so we're going to start off with the deer. This is the tricky bit, not particularly tricky, but we're going to get this done first because of gluing and letting the glue dry before we move on to doing the rest of the item. So you've a couple of odd looking pieces here, and I've included quite a bit of silhouette pieces as well here. You can use Christmas stuff of your own if you've got, but I just thought it'd get you going in case you don't have anything. So we've got our trusty paper clip that I've straightened out and just put a bend on the end so that we get the image of the reindeer taking off into the sky from the roof. So that's where we're going to start. We've got a long piece with 2 score lines on the end. The bend of the paper clip goes to the first score line and it stops just short of the second score line. Okay, so that's what the 2 score lines are there for. The first one is so that you know where the bend in the paper clip needs to be. The second one so you know where the paper clip needs to stop. So we're going to start off by gluing the base piece to the paper clip. I'm just putting some hot glue onto the paper clip and I'm going to just center. I'm not doing the end at the minute, just get the flat piece into position on the base piece. It doesn't go all the way to the end and it doesn't matter. It's just to just so that the reindeer will stay upwards rather than flopping down with weight. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to the bend of the paper clip and just push that into position. So I'm just holding it for a second. And then there's a little thin piece to go on, which will cover up the paper clip. So you can use silicone glue here or you can use the hot glue, whichever is easiest. Silicone glue will give you a little bit more wiggle room, bit wiggle time. I'm using the hot glue just purely for speed here. But make sure it's flattened all the way and down on the sides as well. Press it into the sides where it bends up. Okay. So I'm just making sure we've got everything glued together. Push it in at the sides. And you can see the angle. It's like a little ski slope. So we can put that to one side. And we're just going to put on the deer. Now there's 2 lots of 3 deer here. I'm just gluing about half of the legs all the way. And make sure when you do it that you do a left and a right, because you want one on one side and one on the other. I've glittered. If you're not glittering, it doesn't really matter. Make sure that they face forward. Okay, so the angle on the ski slopey bit is at the back, so you want the deer facing forward from there. I've glittered, so I've done 1 left and 1 right side piece. Okay, so you can see it's just the edges of the legs that are hanging on to the extension piece there. and I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing with the other side. So I'm just gluing again, just about 1/2 inch at the bottom of the deer legs. And again, pop onto the opposite side. And just press down. It just gives the impression that you've got double the amount of deer, so it looks like there's 6 there. If you want to, you could also always give one of the deer a little bob of red glitter, so it could be Rudolph. Okay, so there we've got the first piece complete. Just going to pop that aside now to allow that to dry. Meanwhile, we'll deal with Santa and the sleigh, and it's exactly the same thing now. It's a similar shaped piece, except it doesn't have that cut off piece at the back. So again, about 1/2 inch on the bottom of the sleigh and 1/2 inch at the bottom of the deer legs again. And again, just add into that the bent over extension piece. So this time the flat piece is at the bottom, because we're going to glue that piece onto the roof. And again, I've done a left and a right of this one. So I'm just going to whiz through this little bit because we're just repeating exactly the same on the other side. So we've got Santa, the sleigh, and we've got 8 deer. Okay, so again, we're just going to pop those aside, allow the glue to dry while we continue. And we're going to do the chimney next. So again, I've cut the piece out in black. I've burnished all the score lines. And we just need to glue the 1/2 inch tab so that we get the square of the chimney. This design actually came about because somebody asked for a Christmas themed exploding box, and I suddenly thought, I wonder if I could do. So I did. Okay, so I'm just laying it flat now so that you can burnish the tab line, and all that's left to do now is just to fold in the 4 little base pieces, do 2 and 2, and then just glue them together on the bottom. Sorry, it's out of shot here. If I move the camera further away, you'll get less detail when I'm doing the close-up work. So if I lift it up, then you can't see it. So I apologise, that bit went out of shot. I've just popped a big paintbrush inside here just to burnish down, to push down the base. Okay, so again, I'm just going to leave that to dry, and I'm bringing in the chimney. So there's 2 pieces here. There's the little orange flames, which will cut out as a big piece. And then I've just taken that little piece off and just glued it on top of the red. Okay, so that's ready. And I've also prepared Santa's legs, which I'm going to have sticking out of the chimney. You'll see there's 2 pairs of boots, and I've also glittered on both sides because once he's in the chimney, it doesn't matter which way that you turn the lid round, he'll look okay. All right, so we're onto the lid now. Now, like I said, there is an alternative to this file without the chimney, which would just be a normal filled box without the hole in the centre. If you wanted to do one with flowers, I did one for a 21st, and I've also done a different Christmas themed one to this one. So it's a really versatile one, great for weddings as well. Engagement, you can put a ring into the centre of it. You can put bunches of flowers into the centre. The possibilities are endless with this particular file. Okay, so I'm just laying over the final piece of the mat. The other bits I'd already prepared. Burnish down. I always turn it upside down, then you can get a good burnish without it sliding. And all we have to do now is just to put glue on the 4 little tabs. So I'm just grabbing a few paper clips because I'll just pop them over the tabs to hold them while it dries. So now just adding glue to the tabs. Here I've used about 250 for the base card, and my glitter card is around the same weight, I would say, maybe a little bit more. So by the time you've got this matted and layered, it's quite a substantial box. I usually lay my boxes on the deck when I'm doing the corners so you can line them up accurately, just whizzing through the last ones. Okay, so again, that's now ready, prepared to finalise. So bringing in the 3 layers of the box, and I'm just going to finish off the layers that I haven't done, and then we're going to be adding the silhouette detailing. So first of all, the pieces that you see here in red are the pieces that were cut out of where you see Santa's head there. So I've done a matte and layer there, so it's black underneath with red on top, and the pieces that I've cut out in the red glitter I'm now adding, so you're actually completing 1 layer with no extra pieces, especially when it's glitter. It's great to use things up. But again, if you've got your own Christmas decorations or die cuts, you can use them. If you've got pattern paper that you can cut out and use, the possibilities are endless. So I'm just adding, because I'm glitter on glitter here, I've used my silicone glue. Just positioning and then just pop it down. Again, I'm just burnishing, make sure the glue is housed down. Okay, so that's that layer complete. And the final piece, I've already done the inside layer. And on the base piece, the flip, this is the outside of the box. So remember when you're matting these pieces up, that the box sits up. So make sure you don't get these pieces upside down. I've done it. So just be careful when you're laying them up that you get them up the right way. Okay, and there's a slightly bigger mat at one end closest to the top of the box, just to give you that extra little bit of wiggle room when you put in the lid on. It's been done deliberately as that. Don't think it's something that's wrong. It isn't. It just takes that matting layer thickness away from when you put in the lid on. Okay, so I'm just adding glue to the final piece for this section. So there's like a double layer on the base piece. And it's quite substantial weight at this stage too, because this piece that I'm putting on now, it's a double layer. Again, just burnishing down. And we can flip over, and now we're ready to glue the 3 panels together. So just glue all in the centre panel, burnish down. The same thing with the top panel. Like I said, you don't have to do 3 layers. You can do 1, you can do 2, you can do all 3. It's entirely up to you. So just line up and then burnish it down. So that's basically the card completed, apart from decoration. Okay, now we're going to start off by adding the chimney. So I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue to the base. That's the bit that you closed up with the glue. And just pop it right into the centre of your square, the centre square. And I'm just going to put my trusty paintbrush inside there just to burnish it down and get it well settled. Okay, now to start the decoration, that is where it'll sit. It's about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch down when you come to fit the lid. So now we're going to start the decor, and I'm going to start off with the chimney breast. So it sits, you just need glue on the base and the fire bit at the bottom and the top inside of that cutout line, because the outside of the fireplace extends beyond the chimney piece. So just glue that into place. You can use PVA glue here, or you can use the hot glue. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to be adding the glitter pieces, which are all the silhouette pieces. I'm going to be adding with hot glue. Here's just a couple of them, the bells and the wreath. I'm just going to add them to the top of the chimney. Make sure you don't put it too high up because you don't want it extending through the lid. So keep it about 3/4 of an inch down from the top. So I'm just popping the bells first, and then the wreath will go, just pop a little bit of glue on either of the open ends and just slide up and underneath the bells. And just pop into position. I think that looks quite cute over the fireplace. Okay, so far so good. So now we just need to add the decorative pieces now. I've got a couple of sentiments here. Believe in the Magic of Christmas, and the Merry Christmas, both of which came from my Christmas sentiments collection last week. So I'm just adding them on a jaunty angle, one on either side of the fireplace. There's the Merry Christmas one. And I've just put a double layer of foam pads just to lift them up from the edge. Now I'm going to start adding the little silhouette pieces. I think I've added some of these. I've added the foam pads. And underneath, because it's going to glitter, I'm actually going to be adding with silicone. I've just given them all a bit of a bend to hold them in place. So there we go. Each layer has got something on. Just clear away the debris. And we're ready to add the lid. Just removing the paper clips because it'll be well and truly dry now. And we're going to put on the Santa onto the roof. So we just need to glue the base of Santa and his sleigh. Again, because this is glitter card, I am using the hot glue. So just pop him onto one side, turn it 90 degrees, and the sleigh, the other deer, are going to come across on a 90-degree angle, and the little tab, just pop it to the base of the other black Santa piece. So I'm just popping the tab to the end so that it lines up to the end of the front of Santa's sleigh bit, if you understand what I'm saying. So just going to get inside there just to push that hot glue down. And I've found that that's more than sufficient. Because you've got the paper clip in, it's quite happy to sit up there. And doesn't that look sweet? I think it's really cute. What you can do, and what I did here, just pop a little bit of hot glue just at the back of Santa's sleigh and just press the two pieces together. So it doesn't look like he's got it's a two-piece sleigh, it's just the one piece. Okay. And there we go, that's those two pieces added. All we have to do now is add Santa's legs into the chimney. First of all, we need to add the lid. So when you're folding this up, just cup everything from the base. I just cup it, put the base inside my palm and just fold all the sides up. Locate the chimney in the centre first, and then you'll find you can just pop the sides in all the way around as you go. It's a nice snug lid. There we go. And all we've got to do now is just add Santa's legs. I'm going to give him a little bit of a curve. And just pop a little bit of glue just underneath the glitter, on the red bit underneath the glitter, on each of the sides, because I'm going to sit him in a corner. There we go. Popped in, glued up, all done. How great is this? I'm sure that the grandchildren are going to just love it. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Thanks for now. Bye until the next time. Thank you.